Welcome to another episode of D&J Drives. But today we'll be walking, and we are in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on the island of Trinidad in Port of Spain, the capital city. And we are starting here on the Queen's Park Savannah on Marble Road. And we are by the Queen's Royal College, which is a school, and we'll be walking, making the full loop hopefully around the Savannah. We are in Trinidad today, so so you can see all the coconuts there, and these buildings are the famous Magnificent Seven. Very old buildings in Port of Spain. So you have Hayes Port, more coconuts. So you can see the beautiful architecture around the Savannah, which is the longest roundabout in the world. It's just one big roundabout. And we are passing the Archbishop's house, Archbishop of Port of Spain. This is it on the left. And if you aren't aware, Independence Day is coming up very shortly in this country. So you're seeing all the decorations and stuff. And we are about to pass arguably the most important building on this stretch. This white building, which is called Whitehall, is the Prime Minister's office. It has the office of the Prime Minister inside of it. Get a good look of it there. And of course, at the time of filming this, Kamala Persad-Bissessar is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. This is Stollmeyer's Castle here, another landmark. And these are the hollows. So the Queen's Park Savannah is a very popular place to exercise. And it's a very beautiful park. And it's very safe as well. I mean, when you pass here, you see people running at all hours in the night, even early in the morning. That's a hotel there, the K-Pop Hotel. And we are approaching the Empire Valley Zoo. Empire Valley Zoo. Yeah. And we should shortly be able to see downtown Port of Spain with all the high rises and skyscrapers and whatnot down there. Hopefully the camera picks it up when we reach. So this is the zoo here. And you could see giraffe and lions and tigers and all sorts in there, and some of the local animals as well, like caiman, alligators, snakes, you name it. And this is the botanical gardens on the left. One of the most beautiful parks in Port of Spain. There are many parks in Port of Spain. And of course, it's right next to President's house. Hopefully I can show you that. I don't know if you can see it on the lens, but there are that is the downtown area of Port of Spain, and there you'll get the tallest buildings in the English-speaking Caribbean, right down there. So you can see there, Republic of Trinidad and Tobago Botanic Gardens, main entrance. And there's downtown Port of Spain again, you get a better view. There it is again, and to the left you can see the new Port of Spain General Hospital central block there to the left, and the other high rises closer to the right. And you can start to see President's House through the trees. The office seems to be under renovations. So you can see that's actually the office there on the left, and the actual house you will see shortly. Okay. That's the house right there. And you get a better view of it there. So that's the official residence. That's the official residence of the President of this republic. Okay. red bus is one of the public transport buses. They're very fancy buses here. And what amazes me, right, is just the trees. Because some of these trees are just very, very old. Just before any of these buildings were here. But they're still standing. And I mean, they have taken earthquakes, other natural disasters. So once we complete this, we would have done around 3 miles around this Savannah. There's another bus, and that road will take you up Lady Young Road. And there's a garbage truck there. There's a guy who watches our videos, a very nice guy, and he likes to look at the what the sanitation trucks in Trinidad look like. So hopefully he sees this video. So we're about 20 minutes in, halfway there. If you're walking, like I am. If you're jogging, I think it might take more like half an hour. Mostly government buildings on the left. And of course the Queen's Park, Savannah, is basically the heart of carnival in this country, I would say. If you disagree with me, you can put it in the comments. But I mean, this is where all the fetes happen, a lot of them. Not all, I should not say all, but a lot of them. You can see some locally owned banks here. You can see the Ministry of Health building here, this big building. And in there would take you into Belmont. So you can see the sign there, Belmont Community Center. See a kind of gray building with a look like a medical symbol through the trees. That is the new central block of the hospital, for the Spain General Hospital. And this part here is a memorial to the people who would have sacrificed themselves in the World War, I believe World War II. So if that's subject to correction if that's not completely right there. Okay. This building is the National Academy for the Performing Arts, NAPA. You can see the mountain range there. And I think this is the main entrance of Savannah. See, they're cleaning it, very well maintained. And of course the University of Trinidad and Tobago is also in this building. And I think, you know, this country has a lot to be proud about, because I think a lot of this architecture and these kind of buildings and, you know, a lot of these roads, I mean, if you look at the road network, you could look at some of our other videos, are really unmatched in the Caribbean. And yes, you know, like every other country, it has its problems and, you know, things people complain about, but I think there's a lot to be happy about and grateful for. And I think Port of Spain is one of the most beautiful capital cities in the Caribbean. Very developed, and not only are the old colonial buildings preserved, but you have lots of new buildings or buildings that would have been restored. And this building here used to be a hotel, but I think now it's the headquarters for one of the oil and gas companies. You see TGI Fridays. lovely building here. It says maritime on it, so I'm guessing it's used for that. I mean, when you're driving, you don't like see all of this, like you're walking. Okay, I think we're gonna pass 40 minutes for sure. This building on the left is what they call I think it's this one, the gingerbread house on the left here. And then we pass All Saints Anglican Church. And of course in this country it's predominantly Catholic, but there's a big mixture in Hindu and all sorts of different religions here because of the ethnic backgrounds and roots. And you're seeing a US flag there because this is the US Embassy on the left. So we're at 38 minutes now. And if I had to predict, we should get back to the other side where we started at 50 minutes. So let's see if that happens. And this building going up, I think that is gonna be a hotel or condos or something there. I'm not completely sure, but it has the design of that. Doesn't look like an office building is going there. You see the vastness of the area. So this is a very good place to exercise, as I said. And it's a beautiful green space in Port of Spain. There are many green spaces in this capital that are very old. And if you aren't from Trinidad or Tobago, I would encourage you to visit both islands, visit Port of Spain, because it is truly a wonderful place that is titled there. Different companies are headquartered in there, and I think there are a few embassies in there. And no, we're not going to get to 50 minutes, but 40 minutes. So that's how long it will take you to just walk at a kind of fast walking pace. I don't think there'd be that much of a difference if you just walk normally, but especially if you come on a Sunday morning or something like that, it's very peaceful. And yeah, today's Wednesday, by the way. And you can see a sign there saying Magnificent 7. And we end right where we started, by the Queen's Royal College. This is a secondary school. So I hope all Trinbagonians enjoyed this video, and I hope my commentary was sufficient. And of course, everybody else watching who aren't from here. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and you know, if you have anything to add, you can put it in the comments, you know, if I didn't explain everything fully. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.